Hello, my name is Tim Lahili, and in this video we're discussing the auto-tagging widget. Specifically, we're talking about the auto-tagging feature within the auto-tagging widget. So let's hop into Quincy and do just that. All right, before I actually go into the auto-tagging widget, I'm going to load my case here, and I want to show you that there are no existing labels, or at least none that we will care about. So let's go into tags here, labels. Okay, so we've got these ones on images, but they won't interfere with us at all. The point is there are no other labels here. We're going to create some labels using the auto tagging widget. I just don't want there to be confusion. So let's open up the auto tagging widget now. We're going to spend our entire time here in the labels tab. And let me explain what's going on. There is a left panel and a right panel here. All the action really happens on the right panel. The left panel is simply meant to make entry into the right panel that much easier. So if you have 1,000 search terms, you can enter them here in the left, and then just click this button, and they will populate the table here on the right, so you don't have to manually type them in. Let me show you how that works. Let me show you the format that you use. So we'll type our search term, which is federal, colon. We're going to tag that with the term fed, colon, and let's assign that to Tim. And then we put a semicolon, meaning our search is done, basically. Let's do another one. We'll call it government. And we'll do colon, and we'll call that gov. And we won't assign that to anyone. So we could have thousands of these, and then when we're happy with it, we just click OK, and it will populate this table for us. And you can see the results are pretty much what we wanted. We've got the search term here. We've got the tag. We've got the person it's assigned to, in this case Tim, and this person none. And then if we want to add a date, we can go ahead and do that by doing that. We could also, of course, have just manually added these by doing this and then typed, I don't know, vampire. I think this data set has the word vampire in it. Vamp. And then we could have signed that to Tim also. And we'll give that a different date. We'll give it the 20th. There you go. Okay. So that's how we create or set up the auto tagging. If we want to actually run it, we right click. I actually think we will re-expose a button somewhere here to make it a little bit more obvious. But you right click anyway and you click run auto tagging job. Let me show you what some of these other options do before I actually run it. Let me skip over show code search. A general task assignment is pretty straightforward. It will just allow you to assign all of these tasks to one user. If you just click on it, it will populate Tim across all of these. Most of the time I don't think people will be using that, so I keep it hidden most of the time. You can obviously also save this format. If this is something you're going to want to use in other cases, you can go ahead and save it. You can load a search from a save state as well. The most complex thing you can do here is click on show code search. And what that does is it exposes a column here where you can literally type C# code and it will execute the C# code against the results of the search prior to tagging it with the tag, and based on what the C# code says, it will either tag it or not. That's a mouthful, and I expect most of you to never use it, which is why it's generally hidden, but it is wicked powerful for those of you trying to do something really complex. You can do basically anything here. So let's say you had a number, a federal ID number or something like that, and you don't want to just enter the simple grep search of 10 numbers together because you're going to get a million false positives. But your federal ID number has some special rules about it. Like, for example, in the United States, Social Security numbers used to, now they're purely random, but they used to have special rules associated with them. So you could utilize C# code to make sure that the rules are properly enforced in that 9-digit number or however long the number is. and then only tag the documents where the rule is correctly represented. So complex, if you're going to use this, if you need this, please post on the message board, and myself or somebody else will help you out, help you use it. Because your first time, it's just going to be no source of pain. But once you get used to using it, you're going to be able to make great use of it. So let me go ahead and hide that because we don't want it here. And let's just go ahead and run it. And let's run auto tagging job. And it's going to ask us what cases. We've only got one case, so let's go ahead and select that and run. Now, you're going to see it saying tagging in case 1. The tagging happens almost instantaneously, so if all you care about is tagging, you could probably open the case right now and everything would already be done. Because we care about also creating 2 tasks, it's going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to have to wait until it says creating tasks, and then we'll know it's basically, there we go, it's basically finishing our job. So it does flashes some quick messages telling you it's run through the data. So let's go into the filter first and make sure our documents were correctly labeled. So there are none here right yet, so we just click on this to refresh. And there we go, Fed, Gov, Vampire. Let's confirm that these are correct. Let me open my grid. Oops, that's the wrong widget. Let's open my grid again. Let me remove these filters, and let's go ahead and click on the 8 federal documents. Now, let's make sure these are the right documents. I'll show you how we'll do that. Just remember that there are 8 of them, and that the first object is 527, and the next one's 528. So let's go ahead and clear this filter, and then let's type the search directly in here. So we should be looking for 8 documents, first one being 527, next one being 528. Boom. So we correctly searched and we correctly labeled these things. So that all worked. We should be happy with that. And we've got all 3 of them were perfectly done. So let's just go check our tasks and make sure those worked as well, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, here are the tasks we created, Fed and Vampire. The name of the task is the same as the name of the label. Let's make sure the objects got correctly attached to it. You can see the dates were done correctly. Let's click on this and go to Objects. And there are the 8 documents associated with Federal, and let's check Vampire. And there are the 3 associated with Vampire. So that all worked perfectly, and you can see it inserted this notes, review all objects associated with VAP tag. So perfect, that's the auto tagging widget. Let me say one thing though about if you're creating auto tasks. It is a little buggy. I want to be upfront about that. Hopefully by the time you view this video, it won't be. If you find it's not creating your auto tasks, what I suggest people do is come in and open this widget before they run auto tagging. Create a dummy task. You can call it anything you want. Here I actually, before I started the video, I created the Bob task. And then if that creates fine, then fine, go ahead and run your auto tagging, and at that point you can delete it. But it's very sensitive to when there are no tasks already created. Again, I don't know why that is, and hopefully that bug will be gone by the time you're viewing this video. But for now, it seems to be there, so just do that little workaround, and then it works like a charm every time. And then once you've created, like I said, you can delete the Bob task, and your tasks will still be there. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you for now. Hopefully that is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post on the message board. And please do post before venturing into that code capability, which is super cool, but I think we probably haven't done it nearly enough justice on this video. Thank you very much, and hope this was helpful.